His name is Reed. He has a show, and it's in the middle of the afternoon. He has guests. They're pretty cool, but the whole thing is really absurd.
Welcome to the Mid-Afternoon Show with Reed Hauser.
Hello, and welcome to my show. Sometimes absurd things happen. Something harmless and innocent, such as a child's birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese, can go horrifically wrong. Today, we are going to investigate such an incident. We're going to bring in some guests and talk about the things that went down, such as drugs, alcohol, fighting, gunfire, and it's all going to be talked about on this show. After the break, stay tuned.
His name is Reed. He has a show, and it's in the middle of the afternoon. Yes, it's pretty cool, but the whole thing is pretty absurd.
Welcome back to the Mid-Afternoon Show with your host, Reed Hauser.
A birthday bust of drugs, alcohol, arrests, and a gunman led us to investigate what exactly happened on this chaotic day. Now, please welcome Miss Brianna Walker. Brianna, welcome. It's so nice to have you here today, and I'm sure that we all want to know what exactly happened on that day.
You know, I was wondering the same thing. What actually happened? Those reports were wrong, and you know, I'm just glad to be here so I could tell the truth of what happened. Because the public, they don't know nothing. Because the reports, they were wrong.
I hear you. Now, for all of us out there, what did actually happen that day?
You know, I took my baby to Chuck E. Cheese. It was his birthday, and we was gonna have a party. What kid wouldn't want to have a party at Chuck E. Cheese?
I don't know.
I mean, you know, he was so excited, and we got there, and everyone was having a blast, and you know, these two men, they just showed up. They just wanted to ruin the day, just ruin it. And there was a fight, and I wanted to protect my baby. I was protecting them, and we were throwing punches, and the owner came up to us and said, "Get on out of here." I know, that's what I said. We're having a party, and they kicked us out. And so we was out in the parking lot, and things started getting more violent. And then all of a sudden, someone takes out a gun and just starts shooting. And then the cops show up, and I get arrested for no good reason. No good reason. I mean, they just ruined my baby's birthday.
Brianna, I'm so sorry. I can't believe all this happened. But just a few more questions. In a report, there appeared to be Xanax pills, marijuana, vodka, crack cocaine, wrapped up in a diaper bag. Now, can you explain any of that? Is that true?
That's right. You know, it was a party. It was a birthday party. That's what you do at a party. I mean, it was just, we were celebrating, and, you know, I don't think anybody should judge how you celebrate your baby's birthday. I mean, that is your own personal business, and nobody should tell anybody how to celebrate their birthday.
I hear you. Now, one last question. I believe as you were leaving the party, you didn't pay the $300 bill. Is that true?
That's right. I didn't pay the money. You know, they kicked us out of the party. They kicked us out. And we were going to pay them, but we didn't get our money's worth. We didn't get to finish the party. So why would you pay if you didn't get to finish your party? That's what I want to know. So no, I'm not paying.
I hear you. Brianna, thank you very much. I'm so sorry that all of this happened to you.
Me too.
Next up, we'll hear from one of the victims of this event, the grandmother of the child. Please stay tuned. What happened?
Got water?
So, we've heard one side of the story, and now to hear another from a close family member, the child's grandmother. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the lovely lady herself. So lovely to have you here. I know it's so tough for you to get around lately, and especially since it's so hot outside.
Oh,
Now,
it's so hot.
please, tell us, why were you in the hospital, and what happened that day?
Well, I just got out of the hospital, but I'm feeling much better. We were all at Chuck E. Cheese for my grandbaby's party, and, you know, I didn't see his mother anywhere, so I was just watching him to make sure he wasn't getting kidnapped or anything. And then all of a sudden, a brawl breaks out. Yeah, I know, a brawl breaks out, and people were fighting all around me, and then I was on the floor in the corner of my eye. I saw my daughter, it was just blurry from there, and then I woke up in the hospital, and I was just hoping my grandbaby was alright.
I'm so sorry. You got trampled. I feel so terrible.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal. I have bruises everywhere.
So tell me, after all this that happened, and your daughter is the reason for the party and the drugs and all these things, are you upset with her, and have you made up?
I have not talked to my daughter ever since. I'm very upset with her. I know she made mistakes, but I'm sure she'll realize with jail reality and what's good and bad. But I'm sure she'll realize what was wrong.
Oh, I certainly hope so, and I believe my viewers also hope so.
So do I.
Miss Grandmother, thank you so much for your insight. It's been wonderful having you here.
No, it was an honor being here with you.
It really was. And now, when we come back, we'll have a victim of the gun violence that happened on this horrific day.
His name is Reed. He has a show, and it's in the middle of the afternoon. He has guests. They're pretty cool, but the whole thing is really absurd.
So we've heard from the mother of the child and the grandmother of the child, and now to hear from the victim of the gunfire. Please welcome him with a warm round of applause. The victim himself. Young lad, it is so good to see you and great to have you on this show. Now, I know it's been very difficult for you. Please, if you can, relive the moment and tell us what you were doing and what was going on through your mind.
Well, it was a normal day. I was driving home from work, and I passed up the local Chuck E. Cheese, just as I always do. But this day was different. There was a mob formed in front of the Chuck E. Cheese, and there was a madman with a gun. And I saw him with the gun, and I was scared, and he fired the gun, and the next thing I know, I had been shot in my leg. And I did the only sensible thing. I called the police, and they arrived, and the madman, the shooter, he wasn't even sorry for what he had done.
Wow.
He was mad at me for calling the cops.
I feel terrible. I know how you feel. Not literally, but I know how you feel. Now, I have one question for you. What would you say if you were able to meet the shooter right now, today, on this show?
Honestly, I don't know what I would say. I'd probably just tell him the pain that I felt, that he caused me and my family, and just let him know that it was a very irresponsible thing for him to do.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as a surprise guest on today's show, I would like to introduce you all to the shooter.
What's up, man? Hey, we'll work on it.
Alright. Whoa, gentlemen, please. Gentlemen, stop this now. We'll settle it. Gentlemen, please let us sit down and talk like normal men, without guns. Without guns. Please.
I'll tag you back.
Hey, please.
Straight?
It's a talk show, not a fight show.
I got you.
Now, John, he's not a madman. He is a simple gangster trying to get his money. Now, John, please, if you would, tell him what you told me.
Well, as I was telling him, I was just driving home from work, and you, the madman, you shot me! And you didn't even seem sorry. I'm very disappointed in you.
Dog, I am sorry that I hurt you, but I didn't shoot you. It was the gun. I didn't even have it pointed at you. The trigger released. It wasn't my fault, man.
Is that what you wanted to hear? A confession?
I mean, it's not exactly what I wanted to hear. He didn't truly confess, but at least he said he was sorry.
Oh, well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The handshake of remorse and forgiveness. Now, young sir, John, so great to have you.
Thank you.
I hope to have you again, but not with a gunshot wound. For something else. Now, please, Take your time as you walk off.
I will.
Now, Seth. Yes, white people. What do you have to say about this incident? What is your point of view? What happened? Why were you there?
I mean, as you've been told before, like, I was just going, Brienne Walker got what she wanted for the party. And you know what? Illicit substances like that aren't cheap. They aren't free.
I know.
I went through a lot of trouble to get those to her, and I wanted my money. And she owed me that money. So I got there, and couldn't even find it. I went to the bathroom, and I met this dude that was talking like, oh man, my girlfriend doesn't have any money, you're trying to steal money from my girlfriend, just all this stuff. He was acting so crazy. And then, like, he started using fighting words. Like, I know this is on television, so I won't use some of the words he said, but they were hurtful words. Like,
I feel you.
So we kind of started a little bit of a fight, and then the manager kicked us out because, I mean, more and more people kept coming into this fight, and it was kids, it was adults, it was everybody.
Yeah.
And it was right then when we were in the street, like, it was in the heat of the moment, but it wasn't my fault. Like, I didn't fire. The gun fired.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's it.
I feel you, bro. Now, Seth, great to have you. Great to see your point of view of the story. Still need to work on that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'll get you back.
I'll see you later. Good to see you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've heard from the shooter, the victim, the mother, the grandmother. There's only one more person left, and that is the management of the Chuck E. Cheese. We'll see what she thinks right after this.
Miss Brown, for every A you give, you save your enemy's life. Just like what's good with you.
And we're back with the manager of the Chuck E. Cheese. Now, can you tell us what actually happened in the end? Was there any arrests? Did the bill get paid?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, the $300 bill was not paid by the mother, and 3 people were actually arrested by the police for drug possession. Unfortunately, 2 people were injured but are now recovering in the hospital, and luckily there were no fatal incidents. As an authority of this Chuck E. Cheese, I want to get out to the public that this event was completely absurd and unplanned. I will have greater safety policies to ensure that the kids will be safe, and it will be a great place for healthy fun and a safe environment.
Well, thank you so much, ma'am. I'm so glad to have you here to clear up this just absolutely horrifically absurd event. And I feel so much better knowing that people like you are running these Chuck E. Cheeses. And you know what? We should celebrate these kind of people.
Thank you.
I leave you with that, people. And that is our show today. Don't go out and do anything absurd at Chuck E. Cheese. And please, stay safe.
Name is Reed. He has a show. It's in the middle of the afternoon. He has guests. They're pretty cool. But the whole thing is pretty absurd.
Absurd.